Is a reel from Wish.com really worth it? For any of you guys or girls who have scrolled through discount Chinese fishing gear on Wish.com or AliExpress.com, you are probably asking yourself the very same question that I was asking myself, and that is this: is a reel from China from Wish.com really worth the money? Just the other day, I was scrolling through Wish.com, and I look in the local section. There's a place in there that has it's a little green location icon, and you can see that there are stores, there are businesses around in your area that actually carry Wish.com merchandise. I think what they do is they send them a bunch of stuff and they list it, and you can just buy it and do local pickup. The cool thing about that is, while I'm not a huge fan of supporting China directly by ordering from Wish.com or Alibaba, if you're able to do a local pickup, that means that those local businesses actually benefited from your Wish.com purchase. And so I was scrolling through here, and in an adjacent community only 20 miles away popped up a fishing reel. I'm always looking for fishing reels, and so I couldn't even help myself without even really looking at the reel too much. I went ahead and clicked the buy button before my brain turned on, and this is what I went and picked up. So let's see if it's worth it. So here's your classic unboxing of a Chinese reel purchased from Wish.com on the local pickup. This is a Sougayila DL3000 fishing reel. Obviously, that's not how you pronounce it, but you know, I live in Idaho. It's the best I can do. So let's go ahead and break this thing open and see what it looks like. It's very exciting. I think they feel really good right out of the box, but we'll see what the test of time brings. All right. Oh, victory. Here we go. There we go. We have the most mangled box that you can possibly get. Not surprised that you get a mangled box like this off Wish.com, right? Even for the local pickup. The size that I got, I think, is the what's called the DL3000. So it's like the second to largest reel in this one particular reel make, or this model. And I think what it came with, or at least what it said it came with, was an extra spool, and so that was kind of interesting. So here we go. We got our unboxing going on here, and whoop, there we go. There's our extra spool. It feels. I feel like I could crumble it with my hand if I squeezed hard enough. Yeah, the DL3000. The gear ratio on this reel is 5 to 1.1. Says it can hold 210 yards of 6, 170 yards of 8-pound, and 140 yards of 10-pound. So let's take a look at the reel itself. Ooh, it's red and black. That's nice. And that is what she's looking like right here. All right, well, that's what she looks like. It's very shiny. It's very pretty. And if we go ahead, let's tighten this handle up. Now, I've gotten a different reel off Wish.com for local pickup before, but it was a bait runner, so it had the secondary clutch right here, for different types of drag. Looks like it's can go both ways. Let's see if that button works. Oh yeah, feels pretty good. Feels good. Now you notice that the handle is a foam handle, but it's very small. The one that I got on my other Chinese Wish.com reel was like that big. It was pretty good size. But all right. Well, you know, fresh out of the box, they're bound to run nice and smooth like that. What I noticed here is I don't know what you call this, but the little lever that makes it go front and backwards, or just in the one reeling in direction. It is a very thin and very flimsy piece of plastic. Let's see how this bail holds over. You can hear that click. It's a good engagement. Ugh. Now I never flip my reel like that for the most part. You know, on a spinning reel, you're supposed to cast out and then drop your bail manually. But it's a great engagement. I like the engagement. When it goes up there, it's not coming back down until you push it back down. And it's got the spring action on it actually feels pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so one of the things I do when I have a fishing reel is I break it, which is why I'm always in the market for new fishing reels. And so one of the things that I always like to look at is the part that attaches the main fishing reel over here to the rod seat, to the reel seat. And it is definitely plastic. It's not too terribly thick, but there's no... It doesn't look like the mold that they put it in had any defects. It seems pretty smooth. But when you get the... Yeah, and I don't feel a lot of flex. But you can only feel so much flex when you're doing it like this. You know, you put it on a fishing rod, and that allows you to feel a little bit more. This thing says it has 13+1 bearing. The +1, just in case you ever want to know what the heck that means, it's talking about your guide here on your reel. That bearing right here that your line slides on. So instead of just having a smooth surface that the line runs on, this is actually a bearing in there. I've got another reel that actually, the other 3 reels that I purchased from Wish on local pickup, they had an extra bearing. I have no idea. I've never had to replace a bearing on the line guide on the bail itself, but it came with an extra one, so whatever. And it's not going to fit this. That's a solid engagement. I do like the engagement on this thing. It's all nice painted plastic, and I'm curious what this sounds like. I think it's a real thin machined aluminum, the spool is. So let's go ahead and pop the spool off and see what it looks like inside. Okay. I mean, pretty standard. Pretty standard with what it looks like in there. It's a real thin, real cheap. You know, I bought this thing for whatever the price was, like 18 or 19 bucks. And so, like anything, you guys and girls, you know you get what you pay for. And so when I buy something like this, which I know is a Chinese reel, and I'm sure they're, I mean, even the upper end stuff, your Shimanos are definitely made overseas. But the question is not if it's cheap, it's how cheap. And because there's going to be weak points on it, where are the weak points going to be? Is it going to cause something fatal, you know, sooner than later, or is it going to be able to last you a couple of years unless, you know, you step on it in your boat and you break the handle off your seat? So I'm looking. This is kind of interesting. This actually has a piece of plastic that comes down from the drag knob / spool holder downer, right? That's the official name. That's kind of interesting. I've never really seen that before. Usually they're flush is all I'm saying. So let's put this back on here. I want to feel how tight I can get this thing on here and see if I can... Okay, that's really maxed out. Oh, geez. Okay, I can't even really turn it. Okay, that's a little tighter. Yeah. You know, it seems like if you buy a 2500 series reel, you know, most reels work out in the 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000. It's kind of standard with reels. This says it's a 3000, but it almost seems like a 2500, which I have a few different makes and models that are rated for 2500, but the reel doesn't seem a whole lot bigger than that. I'm actually, what I was hoping for is to get the real big one because I wanted to test a Wish reel on sturgeon. and see if these cheap Chinese reels can actually handle a sturgeon, or if it'll break immediately. So, what are my final thoughts? My final thoughts are, just like most fishing reels right out of the box, they're nice and smooth. They feel good. You're really excited to put line on them. But in the end, the test of time is to dunk this thing in the water a couple times, spool it up with some line, and try to catch some real big fish with it to see if it performs over the long haul. Just like any reel, you want to keep it clean, but I think it's even more important for cheaper reels like this, because you get a little dirt in these things, and man, it just, especially ocean sand, it just wreaks havoc over this. So anyway, there you have it, your unboxing and brief, quick, and dirty review of a Wish.com Chinese fishing reel. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.